Okay. This is a better Monday than last week, but it's still Monday.
Yeah, indeed it is, man. That's what they tell us. But the good thing is about it is, man, we might not be alone today, bro. So hey, there's a start.
That's a great vibe, man. I mean, not like I don't. It's not like I don't like hanging out with you, but it's good to have a fresh face in the crowd.
Yeah, I get it, bro. I understand. I
Okay.
know you get a little tired of me always being right. I get it. That's how it is. It's cool.
That cabbage is really kicking in, bro. I see this.
Mm.
I see it's because
Happy Monday, brother. Happy Monday.
you're only right when you make. Thank you. You're only right when you make three lefts, bro. That's it. I get it. All right. Well, I
Yeah.
guess we better get this thing started because wow, we started out with the jokes already. Ah, boy. All right, family, y'all don't go nowhere. This I'll still be smiling, hopefully.
Ladies and gentlemen, batten down the hatches. We'd like to introduce you to the greatest combat sports show bar none. You are now in the beatdown.
You wanna get beat down?
Let us now introduce you to your host, the Badger, and
Hey, Monday. Welcome. What's going on, bro?
Hey, man. I can't call it, bro. Happy to be here with you, man, on this good Monday. We got so many things to talk about, man. We may get a pop-up guest, but even if we don't, bro, we got a lot, man. I'm happy to be here, man. And gratitude. Gratitude is on high today for a Monday, believe it or not.
Yeah. Oh, kumbaya. That's what it sounds like you're saying. Namaste. So, hey, we had a heck of a weekend of fights starting last Thursday. It just, whew, it's one of those where yesterday's show should have at least been an hour because we just had so much stuff trying to talk about.
Hey, bro, 1 second. Are you hearing any feedback or is it just me?
Yeah, no, I heard something. And somebody just
I
popped.
wonder where that's coming from.
I'm not sure. Do you want to announce your man?
Listen, hey, well, I kind of hinted that we'd probably have a special guest today, and we do. I don't need to give him a whole lot of introduction because y'all just saw him last weekend on Triller. He put the beats on Frank Mir, so he's now solidified his legend in the sport of boxing. But more importantly, he's a friend of the show. Fighter Share Nation, y'all give a round of applause for our guy, USS Steve Cunningham.
Uh-oh. Give me 1 second. He ain't pop up.
There you go.
There he goes.
Oh, we can't hear you.
No, it's not the camera. We can't hear you. Uh-oh.
He says he's gonna go out and come back in.
Okay. You should be like an FBI agent with those lip reading skills. But I guess he got that as a male dancer. Them lip reading skills. I can understand that.
Oh boy, really?
Looks like he's back.
Hello.
Hey, we got you.
All right. Cool. A little delay for me.
That's okay. Man, congratulations on the because it's not just on the victory, but on making Frank Mir look relevant. We say congratulations, man.
Yeah, champ. Yeah. Congratulations to you and the wife, man. I saw you guys having a good time down in Atlanta, bro. First of all, congratulations on getting the check, bro. I don't know how much it was, but congratulations on that.
Appreciate it.
You're solidifying your legendary status. You've been a legend in Philly up that way, but bro, just the way you carry yourself, we watch you on social media, the conversations that we've shared on this platform, bro. We just want to give you the respect that you deserve. But how did you manage to carry him for all the rounds, bro? Because that fight could have ended when they started it. You did a pretty good job of carrying him. How did you do that?
Listen, I'm gonna be real, true, and frank.
Frank.
Frank
Ha.
Hey, like really, I had a conversation with the promoter the day of the press conference, after the press conference, and we talked. And what came up was, what does it benefit me to stop Frank Mir? Like really, like he's a war torn, beat up. I ain't gonna say broken down, but he's beat up. He's been there. MMA fighter, dude really doesn't belong in the boxing ring. Let's keep it real. But it's one of those things. If the fans excited about it, they'll put money up for it. We'll do it. But how would Steve Cunningham look? How would USS Cunningham look going in there trashing Frank Mir in one round, like bloodying him up, busting him up, killing him? Afterwards, I'd be the worst dude on the planet, because Frank Mir's a nice dude. He got a massive following.
Yeah.
He does the podcast, he does this, and the threat level for me was no threat, really. But so the idea was to go in there and get these rounds and work, make them let them know, yo, you in here with something serious, land shots and win the fight. You know what I'm saying? Give people a little spectacle. And but the next move is an attempt to get a bigger or more relevant MMA guy into the ring, and if they wanna do it, you know what I'm saying, then we going hard, you know what I mean. But right now, that Frank Mir thing, it was a good welcome back to the ring for me, and now don't get it twisted, he left there with swollen eyes. And
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I didn't pity pat him. I landed some good shots in there and let him know this is the real deal. But I also didn't go try to kill him. You know what I'm saying? We all saw that. Everybody saw that.
Yeah, because I'm sitting there watching the fight going, why is he not going to the body? Look at the body.
I did. I went to his body heavy, but yeah, not a lot. I actually was I landed some hard shots to his body. And I was like, if I sit him down on a body shot, hey.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was basically it.
Well, now.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, bro.
So before we get off into something else, just about the fight in particular. So what I want you to do, if you can, champ, is just kind of succinctly break down what you said. You said that the threat level was not there. I need everybody in Fight Shirt Nation and just fight fans in general, because people get it twisted. They think because you have a skill set of being able to strike in an octagon, that makes you in any shape or form a boxer, and it does not. So can you kind of loosely break that down real quick?
I mean, all right, so a lot of fighters that have sparred MMA guys will attest to what I'm saying. Like when we spar the MMA guys, it's a little uncomfortable for like the first minute or two, because they throw different combinations. We're used to, boxing is a rhythm. So if I'm fighting a guy and he throws a 1-2, I'm expecting the 3 to come. Normally, typically, that's the rhythm of boxing. Slip, get under. MMA guys, they'll come out throwing 2, 1, 5. You're like, boop, until you get that rhythm, and then then you pick them apart. So that has happened to me with every MMA guy I've sparred, which has been like 6. But then, even to the credit or the discredit of Frank Mir, he wasn't a stand-up like fighting guy.
No, he wasn't.
He wasn't. His thing was submission. He's huge. I mean, massive. 270. He's so big, his arms don't even lay straight. So it's like he's not going to be throwing combinations and punches and so the threat level, the only thing that I had to be concerned about was just getting caught, and we perfected that. I fought everybody I fought as a heavyweight was bigger than me, so that was perfected already. So that's why I said the threat level wasn't high at all. It was, all right, this guy he's literally an amateur. I train amateurs. I train guys that are better than him, so, and I spar with them. So that's why I said there was no real threat level. Now, like I said, I could have went in there first, got him out of there within 3. He is durable. Don't get it twisted. I could have got him out of there within 3, and then what? Oh, Steve Cunningham, stop Frank Mir. Ooh. Oh, Steve, you're a dirty ass dude. What you do that for?
Champ, I have 2 questions for you.
Yeah.
One. Well, I was gonna this one. This one is like a bonus, I guess, because did you expect him to be breathing that hard after round one?
Yeah, I did. You know, I mean, he's 270. He's 270, about
Yeah.
6'2". They say 6'3". You know, he was heavy, man. He was really heavy, and he hit hard. I don't get that twist. He caught me with a body shot on the ropes in the last round. I was like, damn, Frank, like, yeah, you know, like, okay, but it would never land that to my face. You know, nothing significantly strong like that. But
Right.
yeah, I mean, I expect him to get tired. That's why I just moved a lot and just stay relaxed. Pop, touching here, land something heavy to the body. You know, but I was cool with doing six with Frank, and it made him look good too, you know, because they're toting it as, oh, Frank Mir went 6 rounds with a 2-time world champ. I'm cool with that. I know what it is. The boxing people know what it is. Even MMA people know what it is. You know, but let them write it up any way they want. It was fun. We all made money. We all gave the fans, you know, my fans, they wanted to see me back in the ring. In any shape or fashion. Frank Mir's fans wanted to see him in the boxing ring. Hey, we did our thing, you know.
So, on the heels of that, here's the two that I had to ask you. One, when did you do the name change from USS Cunningham to USSR Cunningham? And two, what was the atmosphere like as compared to a regular boxing match? Just the whole atmosphere in the locker room coming out. And did you get a contact high on the way out? Just that. Okay.
Yes. When I was waiting, when Frank Mir went in the ring, I was waiting on that long white path they had to walk down. Snoop Dogg walked by me and gave me the fist bump, and I'm just like, it's crazy. Like,
Yeah, that's right.
We throughout the quarter, the Mercedes-Benz, what the arena, whatever.
The arena, yeah.
That place is beautiful. That place is unbelievably beautiful and massive. So we had to kind of get like a golf cart to take us to our room and then take us to the arena to fight. It was dope. But in those corridors, you can smell weed, man. Everybody was lighting up. It was crazy. It was crazy. So we were, you know, my team, we're super professional. You know what I mean? We're professional. This is what we do. 20 years. I've been boxing 21 years now. Come from the school of Nazem Richardson.
Right.
We professional, 100%. So we get to the locker room. The commissioner, for not the commissioner, but the representative for the Georgia Boxing Commission, he's sitting there, and you know, my guy that's with me, he immediately says, "Let us know when Frank Mir starts the tape, so I can go over there and watch."
Somebody over, right?
Rules.
Mm-hmm.
This dude was like, "What?"
Oh, wow.
You want
Really?
Hey, why? And we're like, "What?"
Whoa.
I'm like, "That's what you do in boxing." And he's like, "Oh, well."
Whoa.
Like, "Well, if you want to, go ahead. I mean, well, I don't care." And I said, "Dude, how long you been? Are you part of the Georgia Commission? How long you got?"
Wow.
Damn.
You know, so then another guy comes in who's over him and is like, yeah, you can go watch him tape. So we're already baffled at that. We're baffled that they wanted us in the arena at 4:00. We got a call, exactly, and the pay-per-view didn't start till 9.
Right.
So we got a call that said your bus is leaving at 4:15, and you know, my wife, who's my manager, was like, "Oh, what? Like, what the hell? Like, no, like, what are you talking about?" So we got it pushed back to 6. You know, still a long damn time.
That's still a grip, bro.
Right, 3 hours before the pay-per-view starts. So we get there. Then, well, let me even tell you, due to this COVID crap and not even COVID, just people in Triller, and then shout out to Triller. I'm not killing them, but this is just what happened. But due to them being new in boxing, it was just different for us. You know, like they didn't want my wife to come to the weigh-in because they were saying just 2 people, just 2 trainers and the fighter. And we're like, why? What is this, a COVID thing or something? She's saying commission. The lady who my wife was dealing with, who was getting my wife pissed off, was saying the commission and this. And then my wife just basically like, listen, Bogart it. And the good thing she did and she came because you got Jake Paul got an entourage. This dude got like 12 dudes. You had Regis Progress. He had like 6 guys get on the bus. And I'm like, and then this dude's got his wife, his girl, and my wife's like, I'm not just a wife, I'm a freaking manager. You know, I've been his manager. But my wife came, and of course the little girl had an attitude, or the woman, excuse me, she had an attitude, but whatever. You know what I mean? We've been doing this too long. So we're in the arena. I'm in the locker room now. Now it's fight night. You can smell weed throughout the halls. We get 2 different times of when we're walking. The guy fights before us. He's done by 9:30. It was like a second round stoppage. So we figure they're going to do, and we knew about the performances. We figured they're going to do one little performance, cat, whoever. Right. We figured they're going to do 1 or 2 performances, and then we walk. Man, they did a full concert. and then we had a guy tell us, all right, you walking at 10:55. So we like, damn, we just gloved up and we stopped warming up. Because it's now like 9:40. So we're like, damn, all right, we'll start warming up at about 9:15, 9:20. Then about 9:15, we're warming up. A lady comes in, you're going at 10:45. We're like, oh, okay, a little earlier. Then 5 minutes after that, which is like 9:20, this guy comes back, 10:55. Yo, dude, it was crazy. So we're up, down, up, down. Then there's a cherry on the top. The guy that was there from Saturday Night Live, forgot his name, with the yellow jacket.
Pete Davidson.
Yeah, he comes into our locker room looking for somewhere to use the bathroom. Right? He's like, hey, can I use you guys' bathroom? It was just us, me, my coach, and my assistant coach was in there. So we're like, yeah, cool. So the commissioner guy, he's starstruck. The commissioner representative, he's starstruck. My homeboy like, yo, that's dude from Saturday Night Live. So I'm like, oh, all right, that's what's up. He's standing there talking. He's got 2 girls on his hip, and he's smoking a cigarette. All you see is just cigarette smoke. And I'm like, I saw that, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you bringing a cigarette into the locker room, bro? Man, it was circus, dog. Then we finally get out there to the scene, and the only time it was cool was when we got in the ring. You know what I mean? Like, it was different, a different experience. You know, so Triller is about a show. They're about entertainment. Period. Entertainment over the fight. Entertainment over boxing. You know, boxing is just part of the show. They do a whole show, which is understandable. It's just you got to go through it to understand it. Now, if I did another fight with them, I completely be mentally prepared for everything now. You know.
Man, okay, Chef. Well, that was. We've been talking about Triller a lot here on the platform because we feel like at some point, and it starts with getting guys like you, it starts with getting guys like Regis Progress, it starts with getting legitimate fighters that the boxing community respects. They infiltrate you guys into these programs, bro, and they're doing a good job at bringing boxing fans over because they have real boxers on the card.
Right.
Do you think in the future, Champ, that Triller at some point can become a major disruptor in the current boxing climate right now?
I mean, they're doing it right now. You know, they're doing it right now. I mean, they're touching a fan base that really boxers, hardcore, like myself, we couldn't touch with a guy like Jake Paul. His following, they don't know nothing about boxing. That's why they're following him. That's why they're buying the pay-per-view. It's like, we know it's going to be crazy. We know it's not worthy of $49.99, you know, have him as the headline. Maybe people bought it because, hey, we got Cunningham, Frank Mir, Regis Prograis, Red Hatch. You know, we got real fighters on there, but main event, Jake Paul. And don't get it twisted. Jake is doing, in my eyes, Jake is trying to be a boxer. He is a boxer. He's doing what he needs to do. He's training. He's sparring with pros. He's in the gym.
Yeah.
He's got a pro training him. So I'm not dogging Jake Paul. Not at all. He's trying. He's doing what he needs to do. But what I'm saying is his following. They don't know nothing about boxing. They from his YouTube channel. You know, they're from that, and it's awesome that he was able to bring them over, cross them over. Now, are they staying for boxing? I don't think so. They're here for Jake Paul. But as long as they're here, yo, Steve Cunningham was able to get a check. Frank Mir was able to get a check. Red Cash, Grimes, whoever else was able to get a check because of what this dude the door he's opening. He's opening the door. People got to look at it like that. You know, that's the same thing with Floyd McGregor. People were like, "Oh, it's a circus." But I'm like, look at the undercard. You got Tank Davis fighting. You had me fighting. Tabiti. You had, all these fighters.
Yeah, legit fights.
So people got to look at that. Don't worry about the main event. The main event is the entertainment. It's the draw. But you got under the main event, you got all these fighters that are able to feed their families now. That are able to put some money in their pocket, and they're able to do their job. That's what we do. So I think Triller. I think as long as they keep the Jake Paul balloon afloat, they're gonna make money. They're gonna make money because Jake Paul brings he brings tons of attention, and it's outside of the normal boxing fan base. And that's money. That means money. They're paying. Sheesh, they're paying.
I was just impressed with any card that has a a slap match on it.
Oh, a slap match.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't know about that?
No, a slap boxing match.
Yeah, they had a slap boxing match, bro.
See, that's what I'm saying.
And it was a knockout. Exactly.
That's old school, man.
Yeah.
Old school hood-ish.
Yeah, and they stood there and just, I mean, it was so bad. They shouldn't have had a black guy and a white guy. That was the first mistake.
Oh, all right. I saw that.
Because the white guy flinched.
Boxing in the ring.
No. Now that would have been great had it been in the ring.
Exactly. That's some hood-ish right there.
Yeah. I'm saying if you're gonna be hood, be all the way hood. Because you had hood commentators.
They were hood. So I mean, listen. I made my tweet about Oscar because everybody's like Oscar was disrespectful and da.
No, Oscar was high.
Oscar was high. Oscar was lit.
Yeah, he was having a good time. Yeah,
everybody was lit. I walked in the ring and the table was like literally right there behind the judges where they were, and I saw Oscar and I nodded to him. He nodded to me back. Mad respect. One of my favorite fighters of all time, but. I heard him. I can hear him say USSR, and I was like, wow, But we know these dudes they having a good time because if you were there, the climate. It wasn't a real fight climate. It was entertainment. So it was cool with me. And we know Oscar get a little. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Oscar drinking. We know Oscar probably and tell you he's probably smoking too.
Absolutely.
I gave him a pass, man. I didn't take it as disrespectful. I just took it as they having fun. Snoop was there. How you not gonna smoke and Snoop in the building?
Yeah, indeed. So, Champ, I want to touch on something, man. I saw your Instagram post a few days ago, and then I saw someone repost that you was hanging out with Teofimo Lopez as a kid. Champ, even though he's not from Philly, I know you've been watching this kid's rise to where he is.
Yeah.
Tell me if you think Teofimo Lopez is the goods at 35 and 40.
Oh yeah, I mean he proved that already. Look what he beat Lomachenko. That should be enough for anybody. That right there should be enough for anybody because that's not bullshit. Lomachenko is the truth. I don't care how much mainstream boxing nut sucked him, you know what I mean? Like he was God on earth, but Lomachenko he is the truth. I didn't say he is the truth, and I tell you the truth, I'd like to see that rematch. Teofimo's very smart for saying F out of here, and I'm not giving you another because a guy like, not saying that he'll beat Teofimo, I'm just saying if you give a guy like that a chance, he'll rise to the occasion. It's possible. So if I don't have to,
I'm not.
So Lomachenko being the truth, and Teofimo went in there and dethroned him. I mean, he didn't.
Yeah, beat him.
But he took
he beat him. Yeah,
he took it from clearly beat him. So, he's the goods, man. I mean, I'd love to see Teofimo and Tank, or fights like that.
Yes.
Big fight. Let's get those big fights going after this mandatory. Teofimo and Haney. Garcia. I noticed Brian Garcia don't be calling Teofimo out.
And it's funny that you say that, Chuck, because I wasn't gonna go there as quick, but and that's the only reason why Ash was he the goods. It wasn't because on this platform we think he's not. I'm just asking you, from a perspective of a world champ and a professional, has he run the gauntlet? And because to become unified, that's a feat in itself. But it's not like murderer's row that he had to go through to get that. So there, like you said, there are 3 or 4 legitimate guys out there that the world wants him to see. So that's kind of why I alluded to that question.
True. I mean, again, beating Lomachenko, he's got the gauntlet. Period. He's got the gauntlet. Now it's holding it, keeping it, and solidifying his history as a boxing champion with the gauntlet. So that means Tank, Gervonta, you know what I mean? Ryan Garcia, Haney. That means you got to fight a couple of them dudes or all of them. We'd love to see it. Of course, I love to see it as a fighter and a fan of boxing. Now, when I let me see, in 2009, I fought Wayne Braithwaite, former WBC champ, for the IBF #1 spot to get my belt back, and that was in Florida. And I used to, back in my early part of my career, before I became a world champ, I would after my fight, because I would fight probably like co-main event or before the co-main events, and I would go sit in the stands and talk to the people, walk around, talk to the fans. And just that day, I mean, I know I did that. I remember doing that, but I didn't remember, you don't remember little kids.
Right.
I'm in the locker room, and Teofimo walks in. Now, I don't know Teofimo. I didn't think he knew me. We were at the bar, at the bowling alley, watching him beat Lomachenko. So that's about as close as I know him. And he comes in the locker room, and I'm like, damn, they go Teofimo. I'm warming up. I'm chilling. I'm gloved up. I'm sitting down. I mean, I'm getting ready to glove up. I'm sitting down. I'm chilling. And I'm like, damn, Teofimo came up in here. And he was talking to the other fighters. And then he turned to me and was like, champ, went in his pocket. He's like, man, I've been holding this for years. And I was like, what? And he shows me the picture. And I was like, get the freak out of here, man. He was like, man, that was awesome fight that day. And you get out of that. You inspired me. And I was like, get out of here. It's unbelievable, man.
That's got to touch you almost as much as the title, man, to see that.
Man. It does. There's another young fighter who said he started boxing because I came to his school with my belt in Philly. This light heavyweight kid named Atif Overton. He was the #2 light heavyweight. Should have been #1. Should have been going to the Olympics. But he's the #2 light heavyweight in USA Boxing. He just turned pro, signed with PBC, and he's 1-0. He's supposed to fight last Tuesday, but something happened to his opponent. But this kid is the goods, man. So and he's training with my trainer that I trained with. He was part of our team.
Your camp, right?
So he told me, he's like, champ, man, I don't know if you know, but he's like, I started boxing because you came to our school with the belt and you was talking to our class. I was like, get out of here. Like, you just don't know, man. You don't know. You really don't.
That's awesome.
That's dope, champ. Yeah, it is.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
That is dope. So, champ, my partner has some very interesting questions to ask you, but it may take a second. So let me just touch on last weekend's MMA card really quick.
Shout out to Tiny Tim.
Did you catch any of the main events from UFC over the past weekend?
No, I saw the highlights, man. I saw the highlights, and I didn't see the fights, man. I got so much going on over here, man.
Okay.
I didn't get to see the fight. I am gonna watch it though. But homegirl, what's her name? Rose. Ooh,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Unbelievable, man.
Doug Rose.
She's a quiet killer. You know what I mean? Look at her. She looks so peaceful,
innocent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. She'll motherfucking murder you.
Hey Tim, I'm gonna get at you on social media, but if you get a chance to watch the fight, I want to talk about her boxing. If you ever watch her box, Champ, it's crisp. For an MMA fighter, the way she boxes and uses distance, it's pretty cool. So if you get a chance to watch it, I would like to get your thoughts on that.
Well, check this out though. I saw the Usman highlight, and look at his boxing. He threw that 3-2. Wow, pulled him over. Oh my
See?
God.
That's what I was talking about.
Man, listen, that dude boxing, he got somebody nice teaching him some boxing. That crap was sweet.
So Usman's coach is also Thug Rose's coach. They have the same coach now. Right.
Trevor Whitman.
And so what we're seeing from Usman with his striking or his boxing, so to speak, It's just evolved in the last 2 or 3 fights. This was not how he usually does things. So it's pretty cool to see him being that strong with it, champ.
Yeah.
I mean, straight, no wasted movements, everything right down the pipe. It's pretty cool.
That pullover was sweet, champ.
Yeah.
When I saw that, I was like, huh? And you can see.
I saw the highlight a few times, and I'm like, did he just throw a 3-2 and that they turned that 2 over? Nice.
Yeah.
My goodness, man.
Yeah, he baptized him, bro. He was out
Yo,
of that.
baptized. Hey.
And when he did it, you can see his opponent. You can see Masvidal like, no. When he pulled his arm, he's like, no. So he
Yeah.
tried to get that hook in, but he couldn't get it in time. Get it in
I
time.
respect that. It's all nothing but respect right there.
Listen, we've been talking on this show for a minute about your most 3 famous UFC champions right now, all being born on the continent of Africa. Arakabulan.
Yeah.
What? Francis Ngannou's from Cameroon, but the other 2 are from Nigeria. And how big it would be to bring a UFC fight to, I'm gonna say Akabulan, to the continent Akabulan.
Yeah. I feel you.
How big of a draw that would be? I think that would be huge, champ. Just wanted to get your.
They'll sell out, beyond out, man. Because the people there will love it. They'll flock to it.
So if they do get that fight, we need to get you versus Jake Paul on that card.
Hey, let's. I never been to Nigeria. That's on my list. It's like going back home because most of our people come from Nigeria, Cameroon, Sierra Leone. They come from that horn, that that Ivory Coast right there. So, shoot,
you get a couple more fights on Triller, you may be able to buy a country over there.
I'm with it. Straight up.
So I'm gonna ask this question because the last time you were on, you gave us a clear education on being a flat earther. So I understood you made me go back and check my Bible references about the firmament. I've been seeing all kinds of reports about there being an ice dome at each end of the firmament as it touches the earth that no one has been able to get over or drill through, and they've left rigs in the ice wall trying to go through it. They don't know how thick it is. But then 2 weeks ago today, I'm watching the Today Show, and the United States Navy shows these pictures and starts confirming the existence of aliens on this planet.
Here we go.
So my question is, because I'll hold my reasoning and my thought process till after I hear from you, because you are my resident flat earther.
All right, check this. This is
No, wait.
I'm heavy. I'm heavy in the what people will call the conspiracy scene. I got friends who do this. I know dudes who have millions of followers on YouTube and whatnot. So when it comes to this alien thing, you gotta watch us as so-called black people.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody in America that should watch this government,
It's us. Yeah.
All right? It's freaking us. All right. I did a video about that when this COVID thing started, and everybody was believing all this crap that they were saying. I'm like, listen, you guys, they're going to pop a vaccine out. People like, no, they not. Look at us now.
And running to get it.
You know what I'm saying? So, and they running to get it. So I'm like, if anybody who should be concerned or conspiracy theorists, it should be the so-called black man and woman in America. That's easy work right there. Now, if you check out what the United States government has been doing over the last 2 years. They've been slowly filtering out this information about alien contact through the military. First, it was the Air Force guys, and it was on CNN. It was on CNN and news, popular news channels. So we're sitting back looking like, what are they up to? Now you want to confess? Like people been saying there's been something, but they've been shooting it down because it didn't help them. So now it's like with all of this information and technology, they have to control this information. So now it's, oh, we're releasing Air Force pilot. He was chasing a UFO. And then the Navy, in 2020, mid 2020, start putting it out. Yeah, we chased a UFO and this and that, and we had this on radar and it disappeared. They're coming out publicly with it. So now, like you said, they're talking about alien life on another planet. This is what most of us believe in the quote unquote conspiracy world. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of HARP. No, not HARP. It's a hologram. It's a hologram program that the government has called it'll hit me later. But
Well,
they can project whatever they want into the sky, and then it be real. I.e., here's Tupac. We see Tupac on the stage. We see Biggie on the stage. Look like they right there.
It's a hologram, yeah.
Technology. You know what I'm saying? That technology been out 15, 20 years ago. They've been had it. They perfected it to the point of now we believe they're going to stage some type of alien visit. So they're getting everybody ready. You know what I mean? They wetting your whistle. Yeah, well, they said it was alien. So next thing you know, you look up, you can see some ships.
People shooting at that. People shooting at it.
Yo, it's going to be the damn hologram system. And because in all actuality, for us who believe, the scriptures, if you really read Genesis, the Bible tells you it's a firmament. When you look at when you break down that Hebrew word firmament, which is rakia, it basically means molten, like molten steel, solid, dome. That's what it means. We're in like an aquarium, man, like on the real. It's just a massive one. Nobody knows how big this is. I'll even go this far. I'll tell you, I don't even know if the earth is flat. You know what I mean? I don't know. I never seen it. But what we think it is, but I don't believe it's a sphere and we're spinning and we're going around and around and you know what I mean? We're supposedly spinning. This is so crazy. We're spinning at so many miles, 666,000 miles here. We're spinning at 666 something here. All 666. All this stuff adds up to 666, man. Come on, bro. It's just stuff that you got to look at. Nowadays, I don't try to convince anybody because believing that we're on a ball spinning throughout infinite outer space is a religion. It's a religion. Because why? I never saw us. I never got so far away from the planet to see. No one has. Where we get that information from? This government. We get it from this system. So we take the information we get, we build on it. One thing that made me a flat earther was 12 scientists out of South America. They did studies over, I think it was 15 years. Over 15 years, these scientists measured. They went around the world, did measurements, calculations, and they came back and used all the measurement and said, this is what the earth is shaped like. It was a flat plane. And I posted that crap. This was back when I was all amped on it. I found out some info, I'm gonna post it and people were gonna, and I posted their whole thing and people just shot it down, so it's like it's like religion. If you're a Muslim, I can't tell you nothing about Christianity and Jesus is the way. You know what I'm saying? If you know what I mean, I can't do that. It's something has to happen in you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In order for you to look at it. And that's what happened to me. I tried to debunk it. I knew a flat earther and I was like, man, I'm about to clown this dude. I started looking, and then I was like, 2 weeks later, I was like, yo. So, I don't get into it with people. I answer questions here and there, but bro, the Bible, Genesis chapter 1 says what it says. Let there be a firmament in between the waters below and the waters above. Now, I know I told you about, I think I ran it by you last time about the word for heavens. It says in the heavens above and the waters below. The word heavens in Hebrew is shemayim. All right? The word water is mayim. So that means So the word water is in the word heaven. So that means there's waters up there. There's waters above the firmament. Shemayim, Mayim. I mean, it's that simple. And when you break it down, let's look at the creation. Lastly, look at the creation of the earth, right? In Genesis. Spinning is very important according to the globe model, right? Because that's what creates gravity. And it keeps everybody down. That's why we're traveling around. Where did the Most High Creator say, and I started the earth spinning? It's very important, ain't it? I think it would be in the Bible, bro. I think it would be there. But, you know, it is what it is, man. So
that's an interesting take, champ.
I appreciate you going into it because my first question was going to be, well, if we do have aliens, and I wanted to get your take on that, so I'm glad you went into that. I was going to say, if we can't get to them, how do they get to us?
Right. I mean,
So
here's another thing. There are beings that are visiting this government. They know. They deal when they get technology from it. It's not a travel thing, it's a dimensional thing. These beings are on another dimensional plane. These beings are what we call demons. You know, these beings are what we call, you know what I mean, angels, demons. They work like that. They're in that type of form. So they can come into the second and third dimension, first dimension, second, third, fourth, fifth dimension, where we can't. We're stuck. You know what I mean? We're stuck in the third dimension. But they can do other dimensional things.
Here's a question. Before you go further, here's a question.
Yeah.
And I know I'm putting myself out there, and I know my partner going to jump on me on another show. I know it. But as a kid, as a young child, I was able to see this. And I've heard accounts that other children have been able to see different dimensions. But as you get older and your mind gets crafted, it's like we lose that ability or that outlet. It's like we can't find that portal anymore, and it's gone.
Right, because we're taught, and it's that pineal gland. Our pineal glands are purposely calcified by fluoride, by all these chemicals that they want us to eat. They know the government. They understand. They know what we're doing. If everybody's pineal gland was open, how do you explain deja vu? How do you explain sleep paralysis?
It's
the
just for some people who try to be funny and put comments in later, he's referring to the pineal gland, which is right here.
There you go.
Because the pineal gland's a little lower, and we don't want
My bad.
My partner's been led by his pineal gland a lot, but we're trying to focus on the pineal gland. Yeah.
Pineal gland. There you go. But they purposely calcify it with fluoride, and then it's shut down. That thing opens us up. Why do you think they went after a guy like Nikola Tesla? That dude, Nikola Tesla was the dopest dude of all time. People need to really look at him, and you should ask your question. Why don't they teach about Nikola Tesla in school, but they teach about Einstein? When they asked Einstein, yo, you're the smartest man in the world, Einstein said, nah, y'all need to go talk to Nikola Tesla. That's what Einstein said. So why are they teaching us about Einstein instead of Nikola Tesla? Because Tesla taught us the stuff they didn't. He discovered and found the stuff they didn't want us to know. This dude had Wi-Fi back in 1908. Free energy. He was going to ship free. He found a way to transmit energy through the electric waves in the sky. Fuel too. And he wanted to give it away free to the world, and they didn't, they want to put a price on it. And as soon as he died, what happened? The governments went in there and cleaned out all his stuff, and nobody never saw it.
Right.
Y'all know how many dudes made cars that run on water?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where that technology at?
Yeah.
They don't let you do it.
There was one of us in North Carolina, and they told him the only place that he could sell his vehicle, and this was back before the 90s. The only place he could sell his car was in Australia. He's like, I've never been to Australia.
Right.
But he was able to. You could go for about almost 600 miles on a gallon of water, and then he put a spoiler on the front with a condenser, So you would never have to refill it because it's going to capture the air and condense it in the water. Yeah.
Yep.
And he could do 90 miles an hour. 90.
That's why when people call me crazy or they clown me, I'm cool with that. I know stuff that they don't know. I know a lot of stuff that they don't know. That they'll never look at. You still looking at twerk videos on Instagram, bro. While I'm reading books and I'm looking at videos and I'm cross-referencing information, making sure it's right and matches up. So people can say whatever they want, man. I mean, somebody tell me the last time they felt the earth spin. Somebody tell me if we're spinning that much and flying through outer space, but they say, oh, gravity. All right, okay, we'll take it. Hey, whatever you say, bro. You know what I mean? Whatever you say. My thing is just ask questions, because a lot of shit is fishy. If you let's look at the astronauts. Look at the outfit the astronauts went to the moon in back in the 70s. Look at that outfit. That shit look like aluminum foil. You mean to tell me they were in outer space in that shit versus what they're wearing today?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Come on. Like, people got to start asking questions and stop just eating anything that they give them. Just ask questions. Look at this shit. Don't be scared. But that's the thing. A lot of people are scared because as soon as you ask questions, you're a weirdo.
Well, and one thing that people don't want to do is be accountable. And if you know better than you by nature, you have to do better or you fail, right? So a lot of people don't want to have to bear that burden of responsibility. So yeah, I get it, Shell. Hey man, this is all great discussion. I'm just here absorbing it all. I think it's interesting.
That's what's up. I mean, all of this stuff, like when it comes to like flat Earth, man. And I'm a Bible believing, guy, and I've learned how to read and write Hebrew, So when I see stuff in the Bible or not in the Bible, hey, bro, it's official to me, or it's not official. Genesis chapter 1 says what it says, In Hebrew, it says it even clearer because the definition of those Hebrew words are spot on. But we're in a Christian society that don't even want to touch the Hebrew. They just want to mess with Greek when it was all written in Hebrew first. So
well, my partner doesn't always make great points, so I got to get this to him because he actually said something that was moving and brilliant.
You always taking shots at me, bro. We got to stop.
No,
at least in front of the company, right? Not in front of the company,
But now, boy, I just went. I'm trying to hang on to the edge and not go down this hole with my next question, but I know I'm headed down there. Okay. Now, someone who reads, in the past, I studied it a lot more than I do now, which is something I got to get back into. The Bible. I've had a discussion with people at other ministers at my church, and they really, again, and it goes back to what my partner just said. If you believe it, if you admit it, now you got to be accountable to it.
Yes.
For those of us who teach the Bible,
right?
Should we really be teaching the current King James version that we teach?
No.
Should we go back to the one that they took off the presses in 1611? Or should we go back to the Egyptian Book of Life, since that's where it came from?
Well, man, my teacher who teaches Hebrew, I know how to read and write certain hieroglyphs too, Egyptian hieroglyphs. The relationship between the Israelites and the Egyptians is a deep one, a very deep one.
They look like each other. Yeah, they should be.
Well, no doubt. Well, we already know that. But, I mean, even in teaching, because the Egyptians learned from the Hebrews. They learned from the Israelites. So, when people say the Bible came from Egypt, that's mainly from the Christian viewpoint of the scriptures, of the word. They say, oh, Jesus was born on 12th December, and so was Osiris, or da-da-da. And, come on, man. The Messiah wasn't born on the 12th of December. That's not the Hebrew truth of that. He was born on the holy day Sukkot in the tabernacle. That's why they were in the tent. that they call a manger. That's why they were in the tent. It's called the Sukkot. That's what we do every year. It's a holy day, and that's when the Messiah was born. So, there's just so much, man. There's so much that shoots all of that down. That's why I smirk. We could be here for hours, man, but it's not. It doesn't match up. That doesn't match up at all. Especially to that, and that's why, like you said, the King James version. The King James version has about 12,000 to 14,000 errors in its translation. It has errors. It has added text, and you can Google that. What's that story when they say Jesus sat down and he told the guys, "He without sin throw the first stone"? That's not in the original text. That's not there. That was put there. You know what I mean? So it's stuff like that. There's a lot of things that were added, and there was a lot taken out. So this is why for me and my family, because I used to be a hardcore Christian. Everybody knew me. I found out our ancestors were Israelites. They were Hebrew. They came over here with Israelite Hebrew names. They sung songs in Hebrew. They knew the language. They wrote. The first church that was built in America was built by our ancestors, and they inscribed cursive Hebrew throughout the whole building. So this is why I left Christianity, just part of it. So, but if anyone's teaching you the Bible, I believe, this is what I believe. I ain't pushing my stuff on nobody. But if anyone is teaching you the scriptures, that the Hebrew scriptures written by the Hebrew people, for the Hebrew people, and they don't know Hebrew, you need to get the hell up out of here. You need to get up out of there, bro. If they don't know, and don't hit me with a little strong concordance. Well, this word, no, I'm talking. If you don't know Hebrew and you can't teach it to me, and how are you telling me what this Bible says? That was originally written in Hebrew.
Now my last question on this, hopefully,
All right.
because they keep popping into my head. Now, like the Church of the Nazarene, they're what most people call the original Christian church through Ethiopia. You had people that had moved down into sub-Saharan Africa that had scrolls that were branded the first 5 books of the Torah.
The Torah, yep.
But they were branded in Aramaic, the quote-unquote dead language by the Catholic Church. So they would say that the original teachings were written in Aramaic. It was the Hebrews that then got it in, yeah.
I mean, this is the thing. After captivities, there were so many captivities for the Israelites, and once they came out of that, one of the captivities, all right, let me explain it like this. According to what we believe right now, our people who are Israelites, we're in a captivity. We were brought here on slave ships, brought here through slavery. That's in Deuteronomy 28. Brought to a land that your forefathers will never know. Taken to a religion that your forefathers never knew. Christianity, religions with an S. Christianity, Islam, whatever else. So this is the last captivity. But in those other captivities, so in this captivity, we didn't grow up with our language. Our native language is Hebrew. We didn't grow up with it. We grew up with the language of our captors. English. For those that were taken to the UK or taken to South America, you guys know where I'm going.
Yeah.
Spanish. They were taking, So those Israelites back then that wrote in Aramaic, they were raised for generations in that region. They just like the original Greeks. The original Greeks look like us. At the time they look like us. So with that being said, the original texts, the oldest texts are written in Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? Now, what we're told to call scripture as Christians, they say the whole Bible is scripture, and that's not the truth. The whole Bible, the only scripture is the Torah, the first 5 books of Moses. Then you have the book of the prophets. That's scripture, the Torah. What the New Testament is, it's letters from Paul, disciplining, and just showing people how to live according to the Torah. If you really read it, then it's the story of the Messiah, John, and then Revelations. and other letters or other like, disciplinary things from other disciples. That's not scripture. I can show you in the Bible where Jesus spoke and he was quoting the Torah. Same thing with Paul. They were literally quoting the Torah verbatim to an extent. All of them, all the disciples. So that's not scripture. They were referencing the scriptures, which is Torah. So, that's just a big misconception that gets a lot of people hung up. And, so we have lawlessness, running rampant.
Look, I appreciate you interjecting and clarifying that and putting your not being afraid to put your points out there. You got to come back and we got to dive into this some more because we came further than we did the first time.
I'm in a lot of stuff people will call weird, looking at stuff, and
well, that's me, so don't worry about that.
Now, my not new thing, but the pressing thing right now is constitutional laws, stuff about taxes, and
the United States Corporation. Yeah.
Yes, our status.
Yes.
Straw man.
Yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
I'm deep in that. Like I got paperwork going right now to control my straw man. That's all I'm gonna say. They listen.
Definitely, you got my attention.
That's
one. You know what I'm saying?
And while you at it, Champ, as you dive into that constitutional law, make sure you get you a Black's Law dictionary because you're gonna need it.
Oh yeah, Black's Law, IR code, the textbook, man. Listen, on all of that, man. This is a thing that every person that lives in America needs to pay attention to. That birth certificate, that social security card, we were signed up to a system, involuntarily signed up to a system by our parents because their parents did it, because that's just what you do. A lot of people don't know you don't need a birth certificate.
Nope, because you already have a record of birth.
Yeah, exactly. And the old record of birth used to be write it in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So if someone tells you, anybody who's listening, if they say, oh, you need a birth certificate, ask them why the Amish don't get them. Never. Because they're, and why aren't they part of this society? You know what I mean? That's why. Because they're nationals. But it's a whole different story, man. It's a whole different story.
And it's funny because this is going to sound crazy, but I remember the old hot dog commercial. Our hot dogs are better because we're Hebrew nationals. And then you mentioned the Amish national. Wow. I'm sorry. See, food is a good thing.
I'm put y'all on to something else shortly. When the police, this is law. This is freaking law. And you're going to Google this, and it's right there. But they don't tell you this. This is why they don't teach the Constitution. This is why they don't teach the laws of your state that you're in, because they want you stupid to it. They want us ignorant to it. So when a police, and not even a police, any public servant, which is a police, which is IRS agent, which is anybody, any of them that work for the government, but this is specifically for police. When a policeman pulls you over or even comes in contact with you, if he comes to your home, shoot, that's something different. I got something else for that too. But if a policeman interacts with you, Google this: public servant questionnaire. You as a I don't want to use the word citizen. You as an American national should have a public servant questionnaire, because every time a public servant deals with you, they have to fill that out first before they can even question you. Google that. Public servant questionnaire. So I keep one in my car. If a cop pulls me over, I'm going to give him that. If he wants to play tough guy with it, I want your supervisor. If the supervisor will know what it is. And most of the time, they'll leave you alone. You know what I mean? Or he'll sit his ass down in the car and he's got to fill out this questionnaire. And it's his information, his boss's information. I think it's some personal information. They have to give it to us according to law.
We live in Florida, and that'd probably get us shot, unfortunately.
Hey, you just gotta be cool and calm, man. Don't you better fill this out, boy.
He's handing you some paper. It's a gun.
Right. Yeah, true. You're right. So that, just stay calm and give them the public servant questionnaire. It's law. Google that. And I'm not lying. This stuff is here. we have the information highway at our fingertips. There's no excuse.
Yeah.
So if somebody says, yo, man, he said the government got this thing called HARP that can change the weather.
That's for
You
real.
can be like, oh man, yeah, that dude, see, I am crazy.
No, that's for real.
Google it. They not hiding this crap from you.
They called Jesse Ventura crazy because he put it on his show.
Exactly. They put this stuff in the movies, in the TV, because they have to. They disclose it. That's part of the Kabbalist religion. I ain't gonna say Kabbalist religion. I'm sorry. That's part of the religion of the elites. It's part of the way they have to live before their God or whatever. They have to disclose what they're doing. So if it's in the movie, believe it's done. I was just telling my son, you guys remember that movie? It was years ago, probably in the early 90s, and it's called like Deep Six or something, where they had this big headquarters that went to the bottom of the abyss, and they were and aliens were down there, and they were using liquid to breathe.
Yes.
Dude, I just told my son about that last week. I was my oldest son. I was like,
What is the name of that movie though?
I forgot the name of that movie.
Because they tied it right back to being born. They said your body will remember because as a baby you use liquid to breathe.
Right. So I told my son, like, yeah, man, it was a movie like that. I said, but you know what? That movie came out in the 90s. I said, I guarantee you that technology exists. And I just saw a post yesterday, and I sent it to him. I was like, see, I told you about this liquid that you can breathe through. Come on, man. If it's in the movies, it's done. They've already done it.
Well, champ, I'm in agreement with you 100%, man. I always say that art imitates life because it does. Everything they're showing in the movies, they've already done. Ask your parents about Space Odyssey 2001 and where we are now. So, and even right down your alley with the comics, you don't think there's really super soldiers out there? They're already out there. Yes. They've been cloning and doing this for years. Manchurian Candidate, all this stuff is real. So I just want to let you know, we appreciate you, man. We appreciate you for coming on and sharing some time with us, man, and giving us some real game. Not only about boxing, but about life, man. This is a good conversation. We can have you on more often, man, honestly.
All right.
No, seriously.
Let me know.
All right. So what you doing Thursday?
Hey, man, Thursday, I'm doing nothing. Let me know. Give me time.
Definitely, Chad. We appreciate it, man. Hopefully you're relaxing after this victory, and because you had a hard fight with Frank Mir. We understand that. So, do you want to give us a shout out? Let people know where we can find you on social media. Any shout outs you want to give?
Shout out to I just want to shout out to my wife, man. Thank her for all she's done and all she do. I know I put her through hell, and it's
oh my God!
Right. It's all uphill from here. I mean, downhill from here. But also, you guys can get in contact with me. Part 2 of my comic book is coming out. I just finished it. I'm about to send it off by mid-May. I should have it on deck. USS Comics on Instagram, on all platforms at USS Comics. The main one is Instagram. The prices will be posted by the end of this week. The link will be posted up there to order. Let's have it. So I got part 3 coming also by the end of the summer. And then I got a conspiracy comic book I'm doing. Oh, I got to do that.
Definitely.
I got to do that.
Definitely.
That's going to be epic. So USS Comics, everybody, you can hashtag it. Or just hit it up on any of the platforms, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. And check out the comic book, man. It's all drawn by me.
Okay.
Well, there you have it, Friday Nation. That's the man. That's our homie. He's a new friend of the show. USS minus the Art Cunningham champ. We'll be in contact, man. Y'all stay safe, man. Keep them babies safe.
Take it easy.
Appreciate you.
All right, fam.
Wow, Steve, USS Cunningham, man.
Look at you going all deep with the questions. How about you pat yourself on the back there, fella?
No, because you have no idea how deep I wanted to go with some of those other questions. But
no, I'm just mindful that you kept time as a measure. So good, thank you.
Yeah, because I wanted to go. Oh my goodness, yeah, bro. Yeah,
getting back on him. Getting back on him.
Yeah, because he's one of those guys that makes you think it's okay to think. He's not like the the U.S. education system. He makes you think it's okay to think. And,
and it is, and the signs all around us. So yeah, kudos to him for just giving people a reason to be a little more reasonable.
You, Black's Law Book. Look at you. Yeah, it's cold.
I told you I just look like this, bro. But hey, it's all good, man.
I've never seen a book in your house, but the fact that wow. Well, yeah, the Maxim magazines, but I'm talking about like a book with information.
The books within my house are where they should be, where the magic happens, in my room. See how I did that? There you go.
Yeah. I'll never see the books in his house then, because
there you go.
One, the line's too long to get in there, and two, I just don't want to get in there. But if you win the auction, you may see the books in his house. I bet you won't see the black book, but you'll definitely get to see the other books in this house, depending on how dinner goes. So get your money right. Get your money right, because it's coming soon. The Badger will be up for auction. He said he'd even keep the hat and the glasses on. He didn't say about nothing else, but he said he would keep the hat and the glasses on. Oh, look. Thank you very much, Samantha Clark Jones. She said, nice show. Yes, that's the Queen Mother right there. And shout out to Tiny Tim. I don't know if you saw this comment when he posted it.
Yeah, I did. I saw it. I was like, okay, Tiny Tim. But he was talking, so I ain't going to interrupt him and give Tiny Tim a shout. But if you're still watching, shouts out to Tiny Tim. Keep those type of questions/comments going. We love those.
We do. And I was hoping Steve saw it. But I was like, I ain't going to bring it up. The show's flowing too well.
Yeah.
Listen, thank you guys. We appreciate you. Shout out to the Queen Mother. Shout out to Tiny Tim. Shout out to Miss Darlene. Shout out to my boy Matthew, who is planning his nuptials with his beautiful fiance. Look, it's a beautiful thing when you see somebody this early focusing on not just getting wealthy, but becoming wealthy spiritually, emotionally, and just planning his life. Now, he knows things go wrong. He grew up in the fishbowl, but he's putting things in place now as a very young man that are going to make his life a little bit easier if we don't destroy the world when he gets to be older. So shout out to him, trying to do things as he's been taught the right way, as he's been taught. So my prayers go out to you, my brother. Shout out to my wife, my daughter, the Red Belly.
Hey,
listen, the Red Belly is always throwing little information my way, like right before the show comes on. I'm like, bro, send it to me like a day or two earlier. Because then when he throws it to me, if we don't cover it, it's covered like later that day on other shows.
Right.
It's just weird. He just... Anyways. All right, bro, I'm turning it over to you.
No, the Red Belly should sign up for an internship. That way we make sure we get all these things ahead of time. So Red Belly, if you're watching, just sign up for like a pro bono intern, You know what, that didn't come off right. We're going to pause all the pro bono talk. Listen, man, shout out to Fight Destination, everybody rocking with us today. Shouts out to the champ for giving us all of his time, man. We will be back tomorrow on Let's Refine show. We get to be ourselves, and I get to be right again. He gets to act like he's right. We appreciate it. Spread the love out there, man. It's crazy. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Fight Destination, we out of here. Peace.
Listen to this joker.